Hello and welcome. My name is Storic from Give 2 Hours, and I'm here with my very good friend Alexandre Tsuk. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, Tsuk.
Tsuk. Fantastic. From Refill My Bottle. And over the course of the next few weeks, I'll be running a number of interviews with inspiring people here in Bali who have taken action on their ideas to make a difference in the world. And what we want to do is really come together in joining humanity and joining Mother Earth with these incredible projects that are happening, and never ever underestimate the difference one person can make. Alex has had this wonderful idea around saving plastic, and you've launched this app called Refill My Bottle. Would you like to tell us more about that and which locations you have available for this amazing initiative?
Yeah, thank you so much, Silver, to invite me in your podcast. Before I answer, I just want to answer to the first your initiative. If we want to make a change, we need to start. All you need is start. And if you have an idea, the way I did it was just start. I had no money, no real clear idea of what to do. Just start it, and you will figure it out as you go. So Refill My Bottle is a very simple idea. It's an app listing where you can refill your water bottle around the world. So you never have to buy a plastic bottle ever again. Wherever you go, you download the app. It shows you where to refill. You go there, you refill your water bottle, and that's it. You make an impact. How simple is that?
That's fantastic. Really, really fantastic. And where did you come up with the idea, and when?
It's about 2 years ago. I run a community of all the change makers in Indonesia called Be Greener, and the members were contemplating what they could do as a tangible impact for the world. And you know, there are many problems in Indonesia. One of them is plastic waste, and it's a dramatic issue around the world. And as much as it's great to clean the mess, I personally believe that it's very important to focus on the source of the problem and reducing the source of the problem. So I really focus in all my actions on, is it something that is going to propose an alternative to existing problems? And there are some easy ones to solve. You know, plastic bag is one of them, straw is another one. I took plastic bottles, okay? And it found that, we don't need plastic bottles. If you think about it, it's completely crazy that every time you want to drink, you just create so much waste. It just doesn't make sense. It's just, we are conditioned, we're used to it, it's comfortable, it's easy. It doesn't make any sense. So instead of that, you can have your own bottle, and go around and know where to refill. So about 2 years ago, we started. We're now in 12 countries with about 1,400 stations. And the cool thing is, any user downloading the app, Refill My Bottle, can add stations wherever they are. So it can grow exponentially as soon as someone downloads the app. So
that's really powerful when you involve the user to expand the initiative and expand the locations around the world.
Yeah, it's empowering people. It's about connecting people in their communities. There's a lot of things that come around. Shall I show the app?
Yeah, please do.
So you just go to the App Store or Android store, and you just download the app, and then what it would look like. So showing you wherever you are, the nearest refill stations, and then it shows you, okay, this is this place, and you just go there, and it's going to open your Google map, and then open it. If you want, you can add stations. So you just click on add a new station, and then anyone can add a station. It's super easy, whether you are an accommodation, your type of business, and it's super intuitive for anyone who wants to join. You have the possibility then to track your impact, because it's all about measuring impact. So you know how many bottles you saved, and collectively we can also track how many bottles we have saved. There's some cool things that we have added, like you know whether you have drunk enough water every day or not. So you can track your daily water intake. And every time you refill, you check in and you earn points. so that you have an incentive to refill your water bottle. And with these points, you get credits in some restaurants, or you get gifts like a water bottle after a certain number of refill. So we're honoring the fact that, yeah, you do the right thing, but also you should get something tangible out of the deal. So that's where we are right now.
Fantastic, Alex. And do you know how many plastic bottles the initiative has saved so far?
It's a very good question. It's a hard one to answer. We have what we do is whenever you refill, you check in. Unfortunately, like now we have 15,000 people who have downloaded the app, but they don't yet check in much because we don't have enough points to again or things to offer. So it's about I think we have about 600 people that have actually checked in and measured. So what I can tell you is we have one resort in Vietnam that has started the program about a month and a half ago, and they reported saving 10,000 bottles just in that resort because they decided not to give away plastic bottles but offer that alternative. So what we measure is very limited, but the impact we feel is very important. In some destinations, it's the cool thing to do. You go to the Gilis in Indonesia, and they have local shops and bar rooms and restaurants that just say refill here, because it seems that it's the cool thing to do because so many refill stations are on the app. They don't even know about the app. They just feel it must be a trend, must be something cool, like a happy hour. Instead of happy hour, let's offer water. So that I love because it means that it's being owned now by the local communities and they've made it their own campaign. So there, you hardly have any water bottle anywhere around. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that example of that one retreat that saved over 10,000 bottles in the Gili Islands, just finding it a cool initiative and getting involved. And I remember being in a supermarket very recently and seeing the statistic that Bali, just the small island of Bali that has a population of 4 million people, uses 30 million plastic bottles every single month.
Yeah, I mean, the calculation is easy. You know, if you say we have, you take 4 bottles, you know, it's about 2 liters, 4 bottles a day. You spend 3 days in Bali. You multiply that by the number of tourists. It's insane. It's just insane. And that's just the tourists.
Yeah.
And you add the locals, you add the people that come by road. Yeah, of course. It's in the millions every month. So, I mean, that's an easy thing to change. Really not rocket science.
Yeah.
And then we allow businesses to charge for water. So it doesn't have to be free. Water can be either free or you can charge a minimal amount. So it's up to the business to decide whether they want to charge or not. Other things I can tell you about refill is in every destination we inspire owners of a station to regularly meet, connect, and address local issues. So in the Gilis, when they meet, the owners of refill stations, maybe they talk about waste management. So it doesn't really need to be related to Refill My Bottle. It's just an excuse and opportunity to display that you actually care enough to join become a refill station. Then you can meet, gather, and then tackle local issues. So it becomes now a community builder tool.
Fantastic. And I love the fact that you're tackling the problem before it is a problem.
Yes.
You know, rather than trying to pick up all the plastic and then find a use for it, you know, let's just solve it before it becomes a problem.
You know, if there is a hole in the swimming pool, you can add all the water you want and you can clean the water as much as you want. It's never going to be okay, you know, so we need to close the tap, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm intrigued to find out, Alex, what or when was the exact moment? What triggered you into action? What happened?
It's always
inside
accidents. I know it's an accident, and I feel it's often accidents that lead life. And so I mentioned I run a community of all the change makers, and they asked me to create a map of all the members in the community, and they wanted a physical map. They wanted a map to distribute around Bali with the pins of all the businesses that have an impact in Indonesia. And I couldn't get around the idea of doing another plastic foldable map that's going to end up in rivers like everything else. I just couldn't go around that. So I figured, okay, what kind of information could I put on the map that is not already out there? And I looked around, and this is not a new idea. It exists. You've got similar refill programs in England, in the UK. They have Refill UK. You've got it in Hong Kong. You've got it in Cambodia. So it's not like I invented the concept of putting refill stations. I think we have a more systematic and a very simple way of doing it. I think that's why we're successful. But I didn't invent the idea of putting refill stations on the map.
Sure.
We did, and I did it with a physical map initially, and then after that, so I put all the stations I could find in Bali, and then one day I received a PDF from the Gillies where an NGO didn't ask me for anything, but they couldn't be Refill Bali. It was Refill Bali initially, so they had done their own thing. It's called Refill Gili, and they just sent it to me, saying, "Thank you so much for inspiring us. We've done Refill Gili," and I figured, wow. This is cool, but from the user perspective, this is not cool. Because how do I find out Refill Gili if I've been to Bali? So the name was not correct. And I thought, okay, I could do Refill Indonesia, but then it's going to be just pushing the problem. Refill My Bottle is just much more generic term, and it works in any country. So having a universal name that speaks to the people, Refill My Bottle, you get it right away. That's what I liked about it.
Exactly, and that's powerful. What would you say is the most magical moment that has come from creating Refill My Bottle?
It's all the time. Like I received a tag from Borneo, like a few days ago, and there were 100 people in a photo with a big sign, Refill My Bottle, in the back.
I saw this photo,
and they were all starting Refill in Borneo. I had no clue about it. They don't even reach out to us. So I think the fact that we've made it simple enough that anyone can download the app and become an ambassador, can add stations. It's it's not complicated. It's non for profit. Then I get surprised all the time by people that are taking it on. I had people from Vietnam fly all the way here. They wanted to understand so they could do the same in Vietnam. And they realized, wow, where did we come all the way here? It's really not rocket science. And I think that's why it can scale so easily, because it's damn simple.
Yeah. That's key. Make it simple, and then it's scalable.
Yeah. And we don't want to own it. So it's really about, hey, this is a universal brand. So
yeah. So I think there's a big misconception out there that what difference can one person make?
Yeah.
And the truth of it is, one person with an idea can make a massive difference. And what I'd like to know from you, Alex, is what advice can you give the listeners out there that have an idea, or they see something that's not working in their community, or something that they want to resolve but they don't know where to start? How can you inspire them to take action?
The difficulty is to define impact. I like the image of it's a guy who walking by the beach, and he sees a guy who is going around and grabbing starfish that are on their back and turn it around. And then comes to him and says, why are you wasting your time turning around the starfish? There are millions of starfish on the beach. And the answer is, it makes a difference to that starfish.
Beautiful.
So as long as you're considering that any impact is a success, then it's okay. The problem if people have too big a vision, or they really have high ambition about their vision, then they will never be satisfied. But as long as you're happy that, okay, well, at least I started, at least it's there, and if one person refill their bottle and haven't bought a water bottle, I'm happy. I've done my impact. One water bottle was saved from being in the ocean. I don't have to think bigger than that to be happy. If you are always having a very big ambition and big dream, then you will be frustrated. You will never be satisfied with what you have. But if you're already happy, if you're already content, then you don't force anything. You just it flows, So it's really that concept of contentment and being in the present. Those is just you hear it everywhere, but it's really that. It's great. And I'm happy today. Someone is starting it. We have, as you were preparing, I have someone who says, hey, you know what? I have a house. My house is close to an important street. Is it okay if I start refilling the Seychelles? and do it. Sure. Okay, we've got a young girl who wants to start because she's found it, and she's going to start, and her impact is she's going to inspire others in her area to start it. And that's how you change the world. You have access to water. You can put a sign, a sticker in front of your window saying refill here, and you've done your impact. So that's it. Don't be too ambitious. Be happy with any impact, because then you start. You don't feel you need to do too much. The danger is to never start, because you're always worried that's too complicated or that's too big. And often you see big businesses failing because their ambition was completely crazy. It's great to have a large vision. I have a large vision for Refill My Bottle. But now that I have it, I still take it one step at a time, and I'm happy with the journey. That's, if you're happy with the journey, then you're already succeeded.
Yeah.
If you're only focusing on the end goal, you're going to be frustrated.
Yeah, this is really, really powerful advice. I mean, I see so many people out there, and I've been guilty of it in the past, of just wanting to save the world. Yeah, I want to solve this major global problem, and then it becomes something so huge that it can cause inaction, instead of just starting really, really small and locally, and just doing something about it. For instance, if there is litter on the street and you think, God, what a mess, why are these people dropping litter? Just start picking it up, and then someone sees you picking it up, and then it creates the instant feedback of the present moment, and you see the difference in the impact.
Surrendering is the key. If you try to control everything, and then you don't see the opportunities. May I share about another initiative that is?
Please.
So we met with Silver when after the earthquake in Lombok, there was a big mess in Lombok, and I started a Facebook page, a Facebook group listing what was needed in Lombok. So that was kind of a marketplace, what you need in Lombok, and then people could offer help. And then we did a map of all the needs in the ground. And then I offered to volunteers to come, and that's how we met. Okay, so it was really nice, and we had 60 volunteers, and worked really well. And then there was another earthquake in Sulawesi, and as soon as Sulawesi got hit, no one cared about Lombok anymore, and no one came to my meeting anymore. And I don't know if you remember, I was extremely frustrated trying to do something, but really not getting engagement for people and volunteers changing. Someone came to me and said, hey, you know what? I'm a developer, there is something there. And now what we're doing is called togetheraid.com, and it's connecting donors and beneficiaries, getting rid of NGOs and governments, so that as a donor, you know where your money is going. You know who's going to get it, and you can track your money, track your project, and track your impact. So my point is, I was down, I was disappointed. I thought, come on, I'm doing something. Why isn't it more successful? Why isn't people joining more? And something amazing came out of it. So it just because we started it. We put it out there, and not only we helped a lot of people directly, but something big, potentially big, is coming out of it. So just start.
Exactly. That's magnificent to hear. And yeah, I just love your energy, Alex. You're always willing to just start and get things off the ground and try things out, and create community around that and get people involved. And yeah, so much respect for you.
It's not hard. I mean, really. I mean, I don't brag about it, because it's not hard. It's just doing it, and doing it in a very simple way. Just go simple, go stupid, do your thing, and just give the space for others to join. Give the space for them to do their thing, and just be a space holder for ideas. You start with something, it's not going to be what you want. It's not going to go where you want. Be okay with that. Just let it fly by itself.
Such fantastic advice, because it's so easy to just get overly analytical about something and try and plan something and strategize it to be absolutely perfect, whereas you learn when you're on the ground doing it. It's the quickest and best way to learn.
Yeah, and people support what they help build. If it was my control and I wanted to control the image of everything regarding Refill My Bottle, no one would join. But anyone who's joining, they feel ownership of the initiative. they feel it's their thing, and that's why it's successful. That's why in each destination, people say, "Oh my God, I'm refilling my bottle, Vietnam, Cambodia, Sri Lanka, etc., etc." Because they don't even relate to the mother organization or whatsoever. It's really locally that it's working, and yeah.
Fantastic.
Don't try to witness when it's your ego that is speaking. If you try not to operate from the ego. You know, if you manage to detach yourself from it, then you're going to make the right decision. If you do it from an ego space, it's always you're going to miss something on the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Not as easy to do as we think, but it's a key.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
your time today, Alex. If people want to get involved in your initiatives, how can they connect with you?
So refillmybottle.com or download the app Refill My Bottle. You will find all the information there. Connect with us on Facebook and Instagram. Same. See you. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Silver,
Thanks
for the opportunity.
joining me.
Thank you. Bye.
And yeah, for all of you listening, we're going to be doing even more inspiring interviews over the coming days and weeks. So stay tuned. Let's get inspired. There's no time like the present. There's no time to waste. We need to really make a difference and be the change we wish to see in the world if we're going to turn this around and join humanity together with Mother Earth. Big love to you all.